Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. Hope you are doing very well. In our last videos we solved exercise 3.6 and in today's video we are going to solve exercise 3.7 question 1 and question 2. I will be solving all parts of the questions so that you understand all of them. So let's begin with question number 1. So in question number 1, you have to find the cube root of 216. Now the first thing you must know is the cube root has the value 1 by 3. Cube root means 1 by 3. Simply we have to do the prime factorization of these questions and we will come to know what the cube root is, right? So 216 is divisible by 2. 2 1 is 2, 2 8 is 16. I will also place a 0 here. Now 2 5 is 10, 2 4 is 8, 2 is 4, 2 7 is 14. Now 27 is not divisible by 2. I will divide it with 3. 3 9 is 27, 3 3 is 9, and 3 1 is 3, right? Now what I will do is I will write it like this: cube root of 216, and I will place a cube root here and I will multiply all the prime factors together inside the root like this: 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, right? Now what I have to do is I will make the combination of 3 here because I have cube root, right? These 3 and these 3, right? Now in the next step I can write these 3 2's as 2 to the power 3 and these 3 3's as 3 to the power 3. That is, they are multiplied 3 times. It shows us that, right? Now what I will do is I will place the root separately on both of these numbers. This is one of the property of roots. So I can write it as cube root of 2 to the power 3 and cube root of 3 to the power 3. Now what happens is this cube root cancels with 3 because, as I told you, cube root has the value 1 by 3, and when it is multiplied by 3, these 3 cancels, these 2 3's cancel each other and you get 1. So this is how the cancellation happens here. This cube root will cancel with this 3 and you will get 2 multiplied by 3, that is 6. That means the cube root of 216 is 6, which in other words mean that 6 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 6 will give you 216. You can check it by using simple calculation or you can use a calculator to check your answer. Again, we have a simple question where we have to find the cube root of 512. We will again do the prime factorization for this question. 512 is divisible by 2. 2 2 is 4. 2 5 is 10. 2 6 is 12. 2 1 is 2. 2 2 is 4. 2 8 is 16. 2 6 is 12. 2 4 is 8. 2 3 is 6. 2 2 is 4. 2 1 is 2. 2 6 is 12. 2 8 is 16. 2 4 is 8, and then we have 2 2 is 4 and 2 1 is 2, right? Now I will write it in the same way as 512 and cube root of these factors multiplied together. I have how many 2's? I have 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I have 9 2's. I will multiply them together to okay. Now what I have to do is I will make them in a combination of 3, like these 3, these 3 and these 3, right? In the next step I can write it as cube root of 2 to the power 3 and 2 to the power 3 multiplied by 2 to the power 3, and then I will separately apply root on each of these numbers: 2 3 and cube root of 2 to the power 3 and cube root of 2 to the power 3. Now I can cancel this cube root with 3, cube root with 3, cube root with 3. And what I get is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. And 2 is 4, 2 is 8. That means the cube root of 512 is 8. Or in other words, 8 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 512. Coming to part 3, we have cube root of 343 is equal to question mark. Again, we have to follow the same steps. We have to do the prime factorization for 343. Now say this number is not divisible by 2. It is neither divisible by 3. And let's check 5. It's also not divisible by 5. And let's check 7. I think it's divisible by 7. Let's try it. 7 4 is 28, and 7 9 is 63, 7 7 is 49, and 7 1 is 7, right? Some numbers you just have to check through prime factors like 2, 5, 7, 13. You have to check these numbers for the divisibility of such kind of number which appear to be not divisible by 2 or 5 or some similar numbers. So you have to try different numbers in these cases. Now cube root of 343 is equal to cube root of 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7. I can write these three sevens as 7 cube. This cube cancels with this cube root and I get just 7. That means the cube root of 343 is 7. In other words, what it means is 7 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 343. Now coming to part 4, again we have to follow the same steps. Cube root of 7 to 9 is equal to question mark. We will do the prime factorization. 7 to 9. Now it's not divisible by 2 and it is divisible by 3. 3 2 is 6, 3 4 is 12, 3 3 is 9. And again it is divisible by 3 as 3 8 is 24, 3 1 is 3, 3 2 is 6, 3 7 is 21, 3 9 is 27, 3 3 is 9, and 3 1 is 3, right? Again you have to create the combination of three numbers, like we will write it as cube root of 7 to 9 is equal to cube root of 3 multiplied by 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 3. So we have a combination of these threes and these threes. I can write it as cube root of 3 cube multiply by 3 cube, and then I will separately apply cube root on each. 3 cube multiply by cube root of 3 cube, and cube root cancels with the cube root cancels with the cube, and you get 3 multiplied by 3 is equal to 9. That means the cube root of 7 to 9 is 9, or 9 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 9 is equal to 729. Coming to part 5, again we have to follow the same steps. Cube root of 1000 is equal to question mark. Let's do the prime factorization. 1000, this is divisible by 2. 2 5 is 10 and these zeros. 2 2 is 4, 2 5 is 10 and zeros. 2 1 is 2, 2 2 is 4, 2 5 is 10. Now this is divisible by 5. 5 2 is 10, 5 5 is 25, 5 5 is 25, and 5 1 is 5. You just have to do the prime factorizations to come up with the cube root, just like you did the square roots. Cube root of 1000 is equal to cube root of 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. Now we have combinations of 3 and these 3. Now I can write it as cube root of 2 cube multiplied by 5 cube. I will separately apply root on both of these. 2 cube multiplied by cube root of 5 cube. This cube cancels with cube root, this cube cancels with cube root, and I get 2 multiplied by 5, and 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. That means the cube root of 1000 is 10, which means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10 is equal to 1000. Now this time we have a greater number, that is cube root of 1331 is equal to question mark. Again we will follow the same steps, 1331. Now when you will check, you will come to know that 1331 is not divisible by 2, it is neither divisible by 3 nor it is divisible by 5. And when you will check 7, it's also not divisible by 7, and after 7 there is 11, and when you will check 11, it is divisible by 11. So in that way you have to check through all the prime numbers for the divisibility of such larger numbers, right? So 11 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 1 is 11, 11 multiplied by 2 is 22, 11 multiplied by 1 is 11, 11 multiplied by 11 is 121, 11 multiplied by 1 is 11. So in simple way, I got 1331 cube root as cube root of 11 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 11, and only one combination is created, and I will get cube root of 11 cube. This cube cancels with the cube root and I get just 11. That means cube root of 1331 is 11, which means 11 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 11 is 1331. Coming to question number 2, this question is quite similar to question number 1, but here we have greater numbers. So we must know the prime numbers with which we have to divide this number, that is 2, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and so on. We will check the divisibility of these greater numbers using these prime numbers. So let's do the prime factorization of 2197. When you will check these numbers, 2 is not divisible by 2, neither with 5, 7, 11, and when you will check 13, it is divisible by 13. So let's do it with 13. 13 multiplied by 1 is 13, and 13 multiplied by 6 is 78, and then you get 117, and 13 multiplied by 9 is 117, right? 13 multiplied by 13 is 169, 13 multiplied by 1 is 13. So that means the cube root of 2197 is cube root of 13 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 13. Only one combination is created, so cube root of 13 cube, this cube cancels with this cube root and you get 13. That means the cube root of 2197 is 13, or 13 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 2197. Now coming to part 2, this number is divisible by 2, so it's quite easy to solve. Let's do the prime factorization of 4096. We have 2 is 4, the 0 to 4 is 8, to 8 is 16, to 1 is 2, 0 to 2 is 4, to 4 is 8, to 5 is 10, to 1 is 2, to 2 is 4, right? And then you get 2 is 4, to 5 is 10, to 6 is 12, to 1 is 2, to 2 is 4, to 8 is 16, to 6 is 12, to 4 is 8, and then you get to 3 is 6, to 2 is 4, and then you have 32, to 1 is 2, to 6 is 12, to 8 is 16, to 4 is 8, to 2 is 4, and to 1 is 2, right? Now I have obtained number of 2's, so I will write it as cube root of 4096 is equal to cube root of how many times, or I can directly now write the combination, like I have these 3, I have these 3, then I have these 3, and then I have these 3. So I can write these directly as 2 cube multiplied by 2 cube multiplied by 2 cube multiplied by 2 cube, 1 2 3 4, right? And then I will get cube root of 2 cube multiplied by cube root of 2 cube multiplied by cube root of 2 cube multiplied by cube root of 2 cube. Now again the cube root cancels with cube, cube root, cube root, and cube cancels, cube root and cube cancels. And what I get is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Now 2 2 is 4, 4 2 is 8, 8 2 is 16. That means cube root of 4096 is 16. That is 16 multiplied 3 times with itself will give you 4096. Coming to part 3, again I have to follow the same steps. I have to find the prime factorization of 9261. Now you will come to know this number is divisible by 3. 3 3 is 9, 3 8 is 24, and 3 7 is 21. I will also put a 0 here. And 3 1 is 3, 3 2 is 6, 3 9 is 27, 3 3 is 9, 3 4 is 12, 3 3 is 9. Now 343 is not divisible by 3, it is divisible by 7, right? 7 4 is 28, 7 9 is 63, 7 7 is 49, 7 1 is 7, like this. Now you will write cube root of 9261 as cube root of 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7, 7 and 7. I can make these combinations and then I will write it as cube root of 3 cube multiplied by cube root of 7 cube, right? And then you will cancel this cube root with this cube root with this 3, and then you will get 3 multiplied by 7, that is 21. That means the cube root of 9261 is 21, which in other words mean 21 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 9261. Now the next number is 1728. Again, this number is divisible by 2, so it's quite easy. 2 8 is 16, 2 6 is 12, 2 4 is 8, 2 4 is 8, 2 3 is 6, 2 2 is 4, 2 2 is 4, 2 1 is 2, 2 6 is 12, 2 1 is 2, 2 8 is 16, also 0, 2 5 is 10, 2 4 is 8, and then you have 2 is 4, 2 7 is 14, 3 9 is 27, 3 3 is 9, 3 1 is 3, right? And then you can write it as cube root of 1728 is equal to cube root of 2 multiplied by 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 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. You have to write all of the numbers and you have to make the combinations of 3, right? And then I will write it as cube root of 2 cube multiplied by 2 cube multiplied by 3 cube. Then I will separately apply root on each of these, 2 cube and cube root of 2 cube and cube root of 3 cube, and I will get these after the cancellation. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3, and 2 2 is 4, 4 3 is 12. That means the cube root of 1728 is 12, which means 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 12 is equal to 1728. Coming to part 5, we have 15625. Again, we have to do the prime factorization of 15625. This is divisible by 5. 5 3 is 15, 5 1 is 5, 5 2 is 10, 5 5 is 25, 5 6 is 30, 5 2 is 10, 5 5 is 25, 5 1 is 5, 5 2 is 10, 5 5 is 25, 5 2 is 10, 5 5 is 25, 5 5 is 25, and 5 1 is 5. Now I can write it as cube root of 15625 is equal to cube root of 5 multiplied by 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 5. All of these are perfect cubes which you have in your exercises, so they are quite simple to solve. 5 cube multiplied by 5 cube, and then you will separately apply the root 5 cube multiplied by cube root of 5 cube. This cancels with this cancels with this root, and 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. That means the cube root of 15625 is 25, or 25 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 15625. Coming to the last part, which also is quite easy as it's divisible by 5. Let's do the prime factorization for 42875. 5 8 is 40, 5 5 is 25, 5 7 is 35, 5 5 is 25, 5 1 is 5, 5 7 is 35, 5 1 is 5, 5 5 is 25, 5 3 is 15, 5 4 is 20, 5 3 is 15. Now 7 4 is 28, 7 9 is 63, 7 7 is 49, and 7 1 is 7. Right, now I will write it as cube root of 42875 is equal to cube root of 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7. Can make these combinations, then I will get cube root of 5 cube multiplied by 7 cube, and I will separately apply root on both of these. Cube root of 7 cube, and this cube cancels with this cube root, this cube cancels with this cube root. I get 5 multiplied by 7, that is 35. That means the cube root of 42875 is 35, which in other words mean that 35 multiplied 3 times with itself gives you 42875. So dear students, thanks for watching Yasmeenaholic. I hope so you understood the techniques of solving the cube root of numbers given. And if you have any questions, if you have any confusions, you can ask in the comment section. Share with your friends. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.